Hi, welcome to the Grain event. Today we're going to show you Grain Game demo number 35, which is called Cube Solver. This demo is an object lesson to help people understand Colossians 2, verses 2 and 3, and what these verses have to say about the all-knowing nature of God. To reproduce this activity on your own, the supply list is very simple. You need one Rubik's Cube and one person who can solve a Rubik's Cube. That's why we've brought in a number of different friends today, starting here with Marcel and Lucas from Grain Game Netherlands. One funny thing that we like to do when we're having a camp or a club is to get somebody not only to solve a Rubik's Cube, but to solve it while other people in the room are trying to distract them or make them laugh. That's why we've got Lucas dancing in the background here, and it seems like a silly thing to do, but the main point at the end of Cube Solver is important because we're going to answer a question that many people have about God. That question is God omniscient? Is God all-knowing? Does he have and understand the answers to literally everything? So as Marcel is continuing to do the work on the Rubik's Cube, we can remember that his cube only has 6 sides and 6 colors. If you know the patterns for solving the cube, and if you've had some practice, then it should only take you 2 or 3 minutes to make everything perfect, even if your best friend is behind you dancing with a kazoo to try and mess you up. But now, think about the universe where God is in charge. That's not such an easy cube. There are billions of people in the world, and in every moment, all of our cubes are turning in different directions. Does God know enough to get everything perfect, so that he is always doing the right thing, even if we can't see it or understand what's going on? Let's look at what the Bible says about this. Colossians 2, 2 and 3 says, "My goal is that they may be encouraged in heart and united in love, in order that they may know the mystery of God, namely Christ, in whom are hidden all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge." Now pay close attention here to the very clear use of the word all. This passage doesn't say that God has more than half, or a lot of, or almost all of the wisdom and knowledge in the universe. It says that all of the treasures of wisdom and knowledge are hidden in Jesus, because this is exactly the truth that the verse is meant to give. Okay, let's go back to solving cubes. Now here's Yotzi in Hungary. This time we've made it even more difficult. Instead of just one dancing Dutch boy with a kazoo, Yotzi is having to face the distraction of a whole room of lunatic Hungarians. As he does his best to work the cube under difficult conditions, let's remember that a Rubik's Cube has 6 sides and each of those sides have 9 tiles, for a total of 54 tiles in all. All of them have to go back into the right place. If you've never learned how to solve a Rubik's Cube, it would be really hard to do, but Yotzi knows what he's doing. What's infinitely more amazing is that God knows what he's doing. And as we look to God to do the right thing in each and every situation, we should remember that his care and loving kindness are putting the right turns into motion for every person in every corner of the world. Literally, God is caring for billions of people whose circumstances and situations are changing throughout all the moments of the day. And without exception, in each of those moments, he knows how to do exactly the right thing. The book of Psalms says it this way: "As for God, his way is perfect. The Lord's word is flawless. He shields all who take refuge in him." That's an important verse for us to know because it confirms not only that God's knowledge is perfect, but that he uses that knowledge to help us in a way that is active, constant, and personal. Jesus himself affirms the personal attention that God pays for everyone when he says, "Even the very hairs of your head are all numbered." And through these words of Jesus, we discover that God's knowledge is so vast and absolute that he knows much more about us than we even know about ourselves. Not only does God know everything, but he knows everything specifically about us and the problems that we're facing. Jesus undoubtedly would be in perfect agreement with the writer of Psalms who says, "Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely." Of course, it goes without saying that for us, life in this universe is a riddle that contains millions of different problems and distractions. But God knows how to solve this puzzle, and with every turn, that is what he is at work doing. For him, it's not too difficult, because he has all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge for his personal use at all times. But as we watch Yotzi again working on the cube in close-up, we should also remember that the rest of us are not like God. We do not possess all of the treasures of wisdom and knowledge. Not only is our understanding not complete, our understanding is really just about nothing when we're compared with God. Me personally, I've never learned how to solve a Rubik's Cube. When we do this activity in a grain game camp or club, I have no idea what's going on. I'm just relying on one of the kids who knows how to do it. Because I have no training or experience, as Yotzi gets started here, it looks like to me that there's really nothing happening. To my eyes, he just seems to be moving the colors around randomly. But truly, he's already making a lot of progress, doing what needs to be done in the earliest moments of solving the cube. It seems like we're not moving forward, but Yotzi knows the formula, and we actually are moving forward, even though people like me don't really know what's going on, and we just have to trust the one who's got the cube in his hands. If you can understand this part of it, then it might help you to understand how God works. This is hard sometimes. There are moments in our lives when we come to a certain point, and because we don't have the knowledge that God has, we get frustrated and we want to complain because everything seems like it's just as messed up and just as off track as it ever was. So, because of our weakness, in these moments we're tempted to believe that maybe God knows a lot of stuff, but He's forgotten a few things, and among those forgotten things is us. But the Bible is clear. Nothing in all creation is hidden from God's sight. Everything is uncovered and laid bare before the eyes of Him to whom we must give account. God is omniscient. God is all knowing. As Colossians 2, verse 3 says, all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge are hidden in Him. There is simply nothing past, nor present, nor coming in the future, that God doesn't know. God is the solver for the puzzle of life. His knowledge is limitless. And at just the right moment, all of us will see that He knows not only where everything needs to go, but how to get it there. The hairs on our head are numbered by Him, and the words from our mouth were known by Him even before they had come off of our tongue. The Bible doesn't say that God knows most things. It says that He knows all things, and that's something important for us to know. On behalf of these kids, even Ruben and Ruben from Romania, all of us in the Grand Game universe would like to thank you for joining us for this presentation of Teaching Demo number 35, Cube Solver. This has been the Grain event. We hope that you can use this activity to help you and your friends gain a better understanding of Colossians 2, verse 3, and the all-knowing nature of God. And we'd also like for you to remember that the Grain Game is all about object lessons. And a good object lesson is more than understanding squared. A good object lesson is understanding cubed.